One.
All right, so we're going to start with the first section of the AOW, which is the annotation. First, we need to talk about what an annotation is. An annotation is really easy. It's just a summary or evaluation of a text. It's usually a note or comment that you put in the margins, which explains or elaborates on the text. So when you're doing your AOW on Jupyter, you'll be looking at that section, and then you will type a comment or a note that summarizes or explains what is happening in the text. So let's look at some examples with the practice AOW that we're doing today about Connor. So the first section says, my family says I was the happiest baby, but at age 3, I still didn't talk or play with other kids, and I was off in my own little world. I had difficulty knowing how to act around people, and I couldn't express my feelings. I had temper tantrums where I'd lie on the floor kicking and screaming. Once, I flipped over a bunch of chairs in my house. So, looking at that, I think it's important that he doesn't really know how to act around others. That really shows the symptoms that he has for his autism. So, I'm going to write that Connor has a difficult time fitting in with others at an early age. That's a good central idea statement that covers pretty much what this section is trying to tell us. So, right now, we're going to pause and we're going to write that down. Okay, the next section, getting help. When I was 3, doctors said that I had autism spectrum disorder, which can affect how you think, talk, move, act, and understand others. One expert said I might never talk. My parents wanted to help me however they could, so they got me into a preschool here in Maine where teachers were trained to help children like me. Next, I went to a regular public school because my parents wanted to keep me with kids of all abilities so that I could learn from them. Starting in kindergarten, my mom invited kids from my class to our house for Halloween and birthday parties. After that, other kids included me. I still don't talk much, but I made friends. Maybe they could tell I was different in some way, but they accepted me. I've had the same group of friends ever since I was a kid. When I was going through, some things stuck out for me, like the autism spectrum disorder, which is the official diagnosis that he has. And then the fact that even though it's difficult and it's a struggle, he does make friends and he has the same group all the way through. So, my summary statement for this one with the who, what, and why, Connor is diagnosed with autism, but he is still able to make friends. So, we're going to pause and write down that statement as well. All right, next section, working hard. I had an aide with me at school until 3rd grade, and I met almost every day with special therapists. I learned to do many things. I started playing trumpet. I ran track. In 8th grade, I became student council president. But sometimes it still took me a while to find the right words, and sometimes I was still in my own little world. Some people teased me for the way I spoke, moved, and acted. They called me names or didn't include me, so I felt left out. I didn't know how to ask them to stop or ask to be included. That stands out to me already, the fact that he's being teased and feels left out by others. I think that's going to be important. Other times, I didn't even realize they were teasing me. Autism can make it hard to understand sarcasm. People can be mean when they don't understand why you're different, and almost no one at school knew I had autism. It was like I had a big secret, but I realized it might help me if more kids knew. In 10th grade, I had to do a presentation for health class, so I decided to explain autism and how it affects my life. I was afraid to talk about it, but I also wanted to tell the truth so that people would finally understand me. The truth is always a powerful thing, so I think that's important as well. Afterward, kids actually thanked me for sharing. Some of them were people who had made fun of me. I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, and now, instead of focusing on hiding my secret, I can focus on my future. So, putting all that together is a lot of information, but the summary statement that I have is that Connor is teased by other students because he is different. So, he decides to reveal and explain his autism in a presentation for health class. He's facing it, he's sharing it with others, he's accepting it. Pause and write down the annotation for this section. All right, and finally, the last section, helping others. Soon, I started the Courageous Steps project to help kids with autism and other disabilities. They can live as fulfilling a life as I do. We've raised more than $30,000 so far, and that money helps schools buy things like iPads and stress relief toys to help students with disabilities. Experts said I might never talk, but now I speak to large groups of people about disabilities, and I talk to kids about what it's like to grow up with autism. I'm a freshman in college. I still need to take breaks and get a lot of sleep. It takes a lot of mental energy to get through a day. Makes me wonder, do people with autism need more sleep? When we're reading an AOW, you can always go and research some other things that maybe you're interested in. People with autism never beat it, but we can do amazing things for ourselves and others. As I said in my school presentation, I am exactly the way I am supposed to be. So not only is he accepting the autism that he is helping others. He's taking it a step further. So for my last section summary, my annotation, Connor started a program to help other children with disabilities, and he begins to really accept his own autism. So looking at all of that, remember, each annotation is just simply a summary of that section of the text. It should be a complete sentence, and it should be telling what the main idea of that section is.